For those of you who don't know, my name is Jay to the Vaughn, and over here on this channel I talk about investing and finance, and I make it so simple for the everyday person. Now today we're going to do a quick little video. I want to talk about Robinhood stock. Now look at this down here, guys. Robinhood stock is up 47% in the past month. That is ridiculous. It went on one of the most craziest weeks I've seen in the stock market, up 47% in the past month. I want to talk about why this stock is up huge this month and why I think this will be one of the biggest stocks in the near future when it comes to financial technology. I've been loading up on this stock since about June. That's when the stock price was about $70. So let's go into it and see, why is this stock running up so high? Let's see. First of all, let's talk about the S&P 500 piece. This is something that a lot of stockholders in Robinhood were anticipating. So Robinhood was recently added to the S&P 500. So what that means is when large funds buy shares of the ETF, the S&P 500, they're now going to be buying part of Robinhood stock. So as you see down here, this creates increased demand for Robinhood stock, and it also makes the stock more credible when it comes to big investors trying to get into this stock. And the reason for that is the S&P 500 is the collection of the 500 largest public companies in the United States. And obviously getting into that group is not easy. Now, if we come down here to the next slide, you see that Robinhood eyes global expansion of the prediction markets after US debut. So the prediction markets on Robinhood is not trying to be just a stock trading app anymore. They want to be into crypto. And now, as you see, they're doing predictions. What are predictions? They have you betting on who's going to win the presidential election, who's going to win the NASCAR race, who's going to win the World Series. You can now bet all of this on Robinhood. And what that means for Robinhood, more money. So they first rolled this out in 2024, and when I first saw it, I was a little bit confused. They allowed people in the United States to bet on who will win the presidential election between Trump and Kamala Harris, and if you got it right, you end up winning money. Now, originally, I thought they were going to stop there, but no, they're going to keep going now. So now they're competing with apps like FanDuel, DraftKings, and all these other betting apps, and saying, oh, instead of going there, you can bet right on Robinhood. But the important thing about Robinhood is they're not calling it betting. They are simply treating these like prediction contracts or swaps. And if we go down here to the next slide, you'll see exactly why it's important here. So you'll see that in August, they launched a prediction market in the United States. And this is big right here, guys. If you read this paragraph right here, their CEO said that they did more than 4 billion event contracts. 4 billion, not million, billion. And Robinhood makes a commission off of all of these. So of course, down here in this next bullet down here, they're already predicting that they can generate more than $200 million in annual revenue just off of predictions alone. So if they're projected to do $200 million in annual revenue in the US market, just imagine when they branch into markets like the UK and other parts of Europe. Analysts are already predicting the prediction markets to be a cash cow for Robinhood, and I can't wait to see what it turns into in the future. The next reason why Robinhood stock is up so big this month is none other than their baking app. So like I told you, Robinhood no longer wants to be an app where you just trade stocks. They want to be the everything app. They're trying to come for everybody in the baking sector and the investment sector. So Robinhood in 2005 in September, they relaunched their new baking app for their gold members. And some of the features that they offer are now estate planning and tax services, luxury perks, cash delivered right to your doorstep, so you don't have to go to a bank or anything. They'll just come right to your doorstep, allow you to have family accounts, and they'll insure your money up to $2.5 million. And this is regulated by the United States government, so this just makes Robinhood even more credible than it already was trying to be. I personally haven't looked into Robinhood's banking side myself, but from everything that I'm hearing, I think that if you give them 2 to 3 years, this will be much bigger than it already is, and that's an understatement. Now, if we scroll down here, even more exciting news. So they're also dabbling into the AI side of things. So right here, what the CEO said, again, what I tried to emphasize earlier, is they're trying to be the everything app. So Robinhood is also releasing this, so Robinhood Cortex. So imagine trying to study charts yourself. Instead of having to do all of that yourself, Robinhood is trying to have built-in AI that will do all of that for you. It's going to be able to give you real-time market analysis, insights, and features like stock digest, which are just short summaries, and a trade builder to help users identify potential trades. So this is going to be marvelous for the everyday trader, because I'll be honest, right now a lot of people are just winging it when it comes to investing and day trading. This time Robinhood is going to make it easier for everybody. And if we look down here, they're also coming out with Robinhood strategies. So now this app is going to be able to get personal information from you, and based on your situation in life, how old you are, your risk tolerance, they're going to recommend portfolios to you based on your risk tolerance. So if you're someone who's in your early 20s, you have a high risk tolerance, your portfolio is going to look much different from someone who's in their 60s, who may be close to retiring, and you don't want to take that much risk with your portfolio. That's awesome. So if we go down here to the next one of the biggest things that they've announced. So in June 2025, Robinhood announced tokenization. So what is tokenization? This is going to be for any company that's not on the stock market, a private company, for example. We're going to be able to buy shares of private companies, and they won't necessarily be shares. Robinhood is pitching this as derivatives, but you'll be able to own an asset in that company. So for example, if there's a private company and they increase in value in 5 years, you'll be able to get benefits from that. They've already launched this in the European Union, and this is doing amazing. They already had companies like OpenAI and SpaceX, but right now all the anticipation is around when this is offered in the United States. If it's doing this well in the European Union, just imagine when it comes to the United States and we're able to buy private companies here. And again, like I said, these will be derivative contracts. Robinhood is also saying that they'll be backed by real shares. So Robinhood is going to own the asset, but you'll be owning the token, which will represent the asset. So if the asset goes up in value, so does your token. And for those of you who might be skeptical, the asset is going to be held by a third party, not by Robinhood themselves. And all of this will be taking part on the blockchain. So let's go into the benefits down here. So some of the benefits of tokenization are: one, 24/5 trading. So 24 hours, 5 days a week, you'll be able to trade these tokens. It's not like the stock market where it's only open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Like I mentioned earlier, you'll have access to trade private companies, no longer just public companies on the stock market. You'll be able to buy fractional shares. So instead of buying one stock, which may be a lot of money, you'll be able to buy a piece of that if you don't have that much money to buy it for. And most importantly, for people outside of the US, you'll be able to buy stocks on the US stock market. Again, this is Robinhood making a statement that they want to be the app known for everything. The last thing I want to get into down here is none other than the Robinhood Gold Card. So they also released a credit card, and it's offering 3% cash back across the board. That is insane. Look how nice the card is. It's nice and gold, more gold than the Amex Gold Card, I must say. And right now they're letting people reserve their spot just to get their card. And the big thing about this is, if you know Americans, they love to get into debt. And what does that debt mean for Robinhood? They're going to collect money on interest and be more profitable than they already are. Now let's go down here and let's go over some of the features of this card. So one, 5% cash back when you book travel through this Robinhood card on your app. 5% cash back on travel. Now some travel credit cards don't even offer that much. So when you book a flight or book a hotel through the Robinhood app, you're going to be able to get 5% cash back right there using their gold card. No annual fees for this credit card, which is huge because a lot of travel credit cards now, they're costing upwards of $800, $900 just to use their card. No foreign transaction fees, which is huge. And like I said earlier, 3% cash back on all other categories. That is a great card, guys. Let me scroll down here in case you guys wanted to see a little bit more of the other benefits that they have to offer, but I'm not going to go through all of these. Guys, this has been a big summer for Robinhood, and especially in the past month. They're no longer just a stock trading app. They're no longer just an app where you can trade crypto on. They're no longer a sketchy stock trading app. They're real. They're in this for real, and they're making a statement. They're trying to come after Charles Schwab, trying to come after Fidelity and all those other big brokerage apps. And not even just the apps anymore. They want to come after Bank of America, Citi, Chase, all of the big banks. I'm really excited about this stock and I can't wait to see where it goes. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about Robinhood stock. And if you're buying or if you're thinking about buying it, let me know. But other than that, guys, peace.